control initialized.
Hey people, 5aces here, and what a time to cast some OpenRA. That's exactly what we're doing right now. Now, full disclaimer, I've been sent this replay, or I've downloaded it from Game Replays, and the colors were so similar that I actually had to edit the replay file manually and switch around the colors, because it was heinous. There were just blobs of pink, blobs of purple, and I could not distinguish them. So as a punishment, I have chosen to give Doomsday yellow. Yeah, sorry buddy, you're wearing yellow garments on my command, as I command here. But regardless, this is a 1v1 that is gonna be interesting because they're playing both in Minions League and both very proficient players coming it up and practicing a lot. This is not a Minions League match, this is just a casual match between them, but yeah, casually yet competitive. And yeah, keen to cast some more competitive OpenRA, especially now that I have so little time to actually play it, because I love this game and it's not only revived my childhood but also given it an RTS, or a competitive RTS touch, which the Westwood one has distinctly lacked, because it was just horribly unbalanced, and now we've got all these fancy units and they're actually working. It's so great. What a time to be alive. That's not even sarcasm. I actually love this. So yeah, standard War Factory opener for both, it seems. Not much infantry pressure coming out. So this is not something you would see from the likes of Lorry Driver or someone like that. Instead, they're just opting for a scaling economy. Here comes the War Factory, and War Factory for Doomsday as well. Both retaining their engineers, so if anyone wants to go for cheese, like, be my guest. That's too fast to be a harvester. It's like a... That's a ranger. No, yeah, MechANIC is playing as Germany. So this is one of those interesting late game matchups. Ukraine would be better suited to take on Germany, because they both have devastating mid and late game support powers, or like at least Ukraine has mid and late game, while Germany has the absolute late game monsters with chrono tanks and the advanced chronosphere. Russia, on the other hand, which Doomsday is playing, Shockies and Tesla tanks, still, you know, a good game ender. Still super annoying. And we're seeing a ranger cap from MechANIC. He's just going into the middle, feeling safe, and taking the hospital. It doesn't provide it with much benefit. The best thing it does, honestly, is just tank. It just draws away a lot of fire because it's got a shit ton of health. But it's in its current state, it's pretty useless, but it's really dangerous. Like, there is a very thin line on over buffing it, because it heals infantry, and right, what's the most dangerous and heavy and most scaling damage dealer in the game right now? Infantry. So if it would just make death blobs all the more rewarding and better. So I'm really of two ways about buffing them. Hospitals are an iffy thing to buff. Let's be real here. And wow, 5 Harvester Eco already met with a 4 Harvester Eco move out. That's the classic. That's something Lorry Driver would do. It's classic cheese that Gatekeeper invented, I believe, where just after popping your service depot, you move your MCV to a greener pastures and claim a double expansion, and then you build another MCV, and all of a sudden, boom, triple expansion, and you've got holla holla cash dollar in your pockets. The only downside is, obviously, your backlines are unprotected. You can't really pop down a defensive structure at your whim. Yeah, so MechANIC is feeling very safe here, going for double MCV. This is something that's easily punishable if you know about it, if you scout it, but it's hard to scout. Getting a bit of a hunch of intel here. And this has been the first kill of the game, so almost 5 minutes deep, and not a single shot has been fired until 4 minutes and 20 or something. A really passive early game for both. They're just scaling up. And a massive eco boom. 6 harvesters over 5, and an earlier actual expansion for Doomsday, because he's gonna pop down a refinery, I believe. Yep. So like the actual expansion timing, despite MechANIC having a double Conyard forward, the actual expansion timing is going to be earlier for Doomsday. And Doomsday is now opting for at least one APC. Let's see how many more are to follow here. Ranger gets a whiff. Ranger's like, "Sup, boys? Welcome to the neighborhood here." And so just scouting out the hood. Doesn't see anything too interesting or too scary at the time being. This hospital is really, now it's gonna pay dividends, because if there's gonna be a push of Doomsday to the left side, he's gonna reveal it by sheer A moving through the hospital. Or at least going into the line of sight, which the hospital has 2 cells of line of sight. Can barely see to the civilian building there, like this hut. And this is going to be an engagement with 2 medium tanks versus 2 APCs. It all depends on whether or not the rockets are occupied. But right now it seems as if they're on move command. Oh, they're trying to snipe the engineer. That's why. So right now, oh, and the APC is blocking the medium tanks from running in. So right now, the rockets whiffed. The rockets actually completely whiffed. So right now, it's looking like a good engagement for MechANIC, because he still got the Ranger. And the Ranger provides you with the line of sight. Getting cleaned up though. Here is Doomsday cleaning shop. So that was a... he split him in half. So what happened is some of the reinforcements arrived from the right side and they got just split in half. Splitting them like the Red Sea, doing the Moses, the good old Moses split there. And Doomsday just bunkering down. Winning his first engagement, but that's nothing game deciding. So he's trying to tackle the hospital, because the hospital, that's gonna be game deciding. Yeah, that's where it's at. At least it forces a response. It doesn't really, but it creates psychological pressure at least. If a more experienced player sees this, it's just gonna be like, meh, my hospital got killed. Oh no. Yeah. Just like real life. And also getting a nice $200 cash bounty on the forward command. By the way, interesting tidbit of information. In one of the next releases, SoScared is probably going to tweak the forward command, so it's not only capturable, but gives you a static build radius, like it's a capturable outpost then. Here comes the first Yak attack plane, and we're seeing a radodome transition for MechANIC as well, so the Hind is still in the makings. But in terms of the oh, a tech center. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gasoline right there. That's looking a bit spicy to me. Early tech center, 7-minute 50 tech center. That's what I love to see. Tesla tanks or Shockies is the question. Probably an Iron Curtain to follow up. Love me some Iron Curtain action. And Yak attack planes giving... They are so good on this map. This map is a pretty hard to cover with your anti-tank weapons or your anti-air weapons. It's so easy for the Yaks to just move around. Provides a massive line of sight and win you the engagement hands down. Yeah, this is looking good here. And the V2 rockets from the backlines providing so much fire support. An engagement that was handily won here. Ooh, good hits. Now there's a Hind. Gonna snack 2 of those V2s. Nothing that Doomsday can do about it. His anti-air was a bit out of position, but one remains and 2 more are coming in hot here. Probably. Oh, he's targeting the radodome. This might already be a problem for MechANIC. If he... he's stopped from getting the Audis up. Like, what he needs now are a couple artilleries. Yep, retains a heavy, retains a medium tank though. It's a good stuff here. Oh, what's that? The V2 is going balls deep, balls to the wall in here. And there's an AA gun popping. MechANIC needs to, or Doomsday needs to pull his Yak attack planes back. Oh my lord. What a slaughter. Like a swarm of mosquitoes getting swatted out of the skies. That was... ouch. That hurt. Just watching that hurt me. Physically. And here we're having a small size push. Nothing that 3 shocks can't stop. Because as we all know, you can't stop the shock. But the shock can stop you. That's where it's at. Heavy tank front lines plus shock troopers. Good idea in theory, but that's gonna be just mowed down behinds. That's just a couple freebies for the Heinz. And interesting, MechANIC is gonna take the expansion of Doomsday here, whom I have in a yellow tint. Because I actually wouldn't have noticed were it for the original replay, honestly. The colors were heinous. I mean, it's their standard colors, can't blame them. It's what they're playing with every day. And here comes a MiG. But the MiG shouldn't go into AA gun range. Like, if there's... Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. I was expecting this. MechANIC had another AA gun there already, so I was expecting him to have a second AA gun on cue. And what happened is, the MiGs are never supposed to go into construction yard range, because there's always the threat of an AA gun popping. So this might be a problem here for Doomsday. Doomsday has nothing back in his home base, and the Heinz are seeing it right now. Taking a freebie. Taking at least one of those pesky refineries out. Cutting down on the income. And that's an overcommitment into AA guns. Wow. The MiG! No, another MiG. Is that a rally point, huh? No, it isn't. He deliberately chose to run the MiG into 2 AA guns, one of which he has scouted. That's sketchy to me. Oh, such unfortunate timing. The rocket soldiers coming in just in time to soak up the damage from the turret. And this is gonna be a death blob from hell. Shock troopers, V2s, heavy tanks. The Heinz have to do a number here. Oh, the Heinz were focusing on the heavy tank. That is a bad misplay. So now all the Heinz are swatted out of the skies. And the Shockers are still standing. They can provide backline fire support with their insane range and this insane burst damage. This is looking like a wipe to me. Doomsday handily taking this engagement. Should maybe pull back his heavy tank. And he has sniped the MCV. That's the most important aspect here. Which means he's free to just move in. If he decides to, yeah. Zap time. Couple Heinz, but they have no no dice here. They had balls, but no dice there. That requires some actual courage. Now the AA gun is down. He can finally start working on those harvesters with his MiG. And his MCV has been pulled off. Oh, there is an Iron Curtain as well. A counter push with... Come on. 8 riflemen? Really? That all that you're gonna bust out? There is one shock trooper who's probably gonna kill the blob kill this push single-handedly. So anyway, on the top side, we are having a staggering victory here for Doomsday, who is managing to hunker down here, taking down the last harvester in this expansion with his MiG. And I would love to see some more MiGs. What he needs is more airfields. Relatively cheap. Airfields cost, what, 500? It's basically a freebie. And he's in a good spot here. Because MechANIC hasn't even taken his expansions yet. He has an MCV pop down there. That doesn't mean he has taken his expansion. He doesn't have a refinery currently. At the present time being. There are 2 more MiGs. Gonna target the ore track. So one thing I would really love to see Doomsday improve upon is his MiG micro. Because the MiGs, the way they work... Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. This one as well? No. The way the MiGs work is after they've fired their payload, they can already... you can order them to return and they have got like really good rate of turn. Oh, double MCV, alright. And a radar dome, he has to rebuild it. So they can offer so much if you just kite back after every missile salvo. But I have never seen Doomsday do this. Doomsday just was stubbornly attack moving into something. So, and if you do this, that's the case with all the planes. If you just attack something, they're gonna strafe past it. They're gonna just attack it and then strafe past it and then go for another attack run. And this means that they're just running into AA gun lines. Ooh, there's the second MCV. Got sniffed out by the MiG. An an A-bomb was procured here. Let's see where it is. It's at the bottom of the screen, obviously. Just hiding it. Concealing your A-bomb. The service depot has fallen, so he has to resort to to light tanks now, and the light tanks are just getting eaten up by shock troopers. Wow, this MiG had some balls. Did you see where this MiG was going? This MiG was straight going into the enemy base. The heavy tank pressuring out the third MCV. And another MiG is online here. He's got a bit of power issues. Doomsday needs to power down probably the Iron Curtain. Maybe the nuke at the time. Like, right now he doesn't need the nuke. It's more a psychological thing, psychological pressure. Heavy tank taking on a couple pillboxes is not going to come out victoriously because there is a light tank as fire support. Oh ho ho! The Hinds are gonna snack an MCV, but they have not discovered the missile silo. They're discovered, maybe, yeah. Discovered, but not sniped the missile silo yet. And here we're having 3 MiGs in the air. That's really good for Doomsday. If he just manages to snipe harvesters and not get caught by AA guns. Don't stand in the radius. Like, don't go into the radius. That's so risky. If there is an AA gun ready right now, this is gonna cost him an entire army's worth. Because MiGs are super expensive. Okay, another shock blob is brewing here. Can you smell what the shock is cooking here? The MCV. Unfortunately, no way for the Soviets to reclaim it. He should patch up his service depot, though. And what the fuck is this kind of push? That's a couple civilians. Reminds me of, do you guys remember the mission? The Grunrev Rebellion, that's what it's called. Where the Soviets were allied with like super civilians who would like fire nukes or super strong shotguns, stuff like that. It was I think an expansion mission from Aftermath. Grunrev Rebellion, yeah. That's it. And it was one of my favorite missions of all times. It was just so good. Fighting those super civilians. Massive hind blob, trying to take down the power. Doing a TF here and going for the power. But unlike Yellow last week, MechANIC has paid his electric bills. Or has he? Ah, he hasn't. Tech center going down. No, yes, maybe. Okay, but that's all she wrote. Now the Hinds are out of ammo, and this flak truck can go on a chase here. Oh, that's a nightmare fuel for any Hind pilot. That's exactly where this flak wants to be. In the flanking route, taking down 3 of them. And that's only light tanks and riflemen. That's a composition that is just not gonna do very well versus buildings. And especially not versus MiGs. Good target fire here. And in comes the cleanup crew. The Shockies stir-frying everything at Isle 1 here. Good fight, good night. Yeah, Doomsday's in a good position here. He got the refinery for himself, so they're roughly even in the economy tab. Should be, at least. That was a couple valuable snipes from MechANIC, though. The Hinds got a lot of assets there. So risky. Yeah, more mobile flags are needed, and I would love to see Doomsday pop down a single SAM site. They're not that bad. Granted, not the best unit in the game. Oh my god! Both MiGs going down to the AA gun again. He made the mistake again, where he just, instead of just targeting the ore truck, then targeting away and making them move back and doing that, repeating this process a couple times, like 3 runs take out a harvester. He just went for a suicidal run into the AA gun. Especially when rearming. Like, when rearming, planes are not smart. They're not gonna avoid AA. They're just gonna run into the into AA lines. Flak truck on the flank. Let's go. Cover this up, buddy. Yeah. Just do it up. And Doomsday wants to flank here. He wants to get the push on the refineries. This is a pretty good call because he knows that there is no con yard. He has scouted this, albeit the scout was very costly, albeit at a price, because this scout has literally cost him 2 MiGs, 2 of the most expensive units in the game, bar the cruiser and missile sub are more expensive, and the demo truck. But that's it, I believe. Everything else is capped at 2,000. Oh, running into 4 flame turrets. That's quite that's some flame density here. How much napalm do you need for a single day, huh? Oh my. And the Hinds are seemingly not returning. That's weird, are they blocking each other? That's costly, that's costly. Okay, Doomsday taking out one of the Harvesters and one of the refs. He could continue pushing. But he's too concerned with the left-hand flank. He's gonna find... Ooh, don't run into Aegon lines again. He's just gonna find a lightly defended base. Just a couple of riflemen, nothing more. Top is where it's at. Top is where the medium tanks are rolling out. But they can't engage into this. This is such a clusterfuck. This is a claustrophobic clusterfuck. This ravine combined with the power plant blocking is just not good. This is just a concave and forming a natural concave here. Doomsday is probably still gonna get pushed out. The unit density is there. And the MiG is... Oh, running into Aegon again. No, running into the lines. Too bad. What? Why is MechANIC sniping the power plants? He should actually go for the Conyard. He could have sniped the Conyard with his 5 Hinds. Here's an Iron Curtain flak truck blob though. Flak trucks and no shockies this time because the tech got sniped. Tech's area got denied by the Hinds, yeah. Exactly. So we're getting push for push, blow for blow. The difference being that Doomsday shouldn't have pulled out his MCV, but it survived anyway. It shouldn't have survived. But it did. For reasons unbeknownst to man. More and more flame towers. Flame tower spam is actually a thing. They're fairly good. Wow! This Conyard is living dangerously. Just like Austin Powers. I too like to live dangerously. Flak trucks can go on a chase here. Nope, not doing so. And the Gruniev rebels are just sitting here, not firing their nukes, unfortunately. Oh, that's not a float. I was just like, wow, why is he floating so hard? But it was just a single scrap of ore being delivered. That's not floating. That's not how you float! Construction yard probably going down. Yes, maybe. Oh, that's all the Hinds being suicided in. The mobile flak blob being at the right place at the right time. And the medium tanks should have killed the construction yard. It was so low. Man, that's a big blunder. Now Doomsday can rebuild. It's looking good for Doomsday, despite him just losing all his flak trucks to inattentiveness. He's probably busy microing somewhere else. Ooh, that's an undeployed MCV. How many? 1, 2, 3 MCVs. That's a staggering number of MCVs, considering he's lost 2. 3 and 3 MCVs as well, yeah. So the Iron Curtain is gonna start paying dividends in one or two more attacks that are being thwarted or pushes that are being automatically won by, like, it's basically an auto win this engagement button. Because the units are not being ignored, like Iron Curtain units are not being ignored by auto target. So your opponent is desperately trying to, with attack move, take out your Iron Curtain vehicles, which gives your infantry from the backlines all the time in the world to retaliate and just wipe them off the face of the earth. Here's a 6 medium tank and some infantry push. Shouldn't work. There are too many rocket soldiers here. Oh, and the Hinds are just... Oh, the Hinds are just being demolished here. It's a pretty bad place, pretty bad spot for the Yak attack planes though. There's gonna be power drop in the backlines. Yeah. Too many rocket soldiers. Unless the crushes are amazing, which, wow, that one was good. That crush was really good. That one wasn't. No, and an APC transition here for Doomsday. That's kind of smart, because there is much more infantry presence than there is armor presence, and APCs are just really good at being mobile, running over infantry, and the husks don't block each other. Oh, and there is another set of infantry that has been spared previously. They're now targeting the war factory. Should honestly be able to take out the war factory in time. Yeah, the goon squad is not going to be there in time. Beautiful stuff. War factory sniped, and that's the only war factory. So, MechANIC now being relegated to producing Hinds. He's got a tech error, but being this behind, I'm not sure if I like the tech center choice. And Doomsday going for the throat here, pulling his MCV, pulling one of his 3 MCVs here, and also pulling a lot of infantry. Tanya's there. Yeah, that's it. Tanya can get some really good snipes in here. Let's see what she can do. That's there are 4 Yaks idling. They're just idling. What is it doing? Oh! Tanya goes into melee range. That was very inattentive from both. I think they were both just busy microing down south, because Tanya was just running into a blob, and there were 5. That was under the supervision of 5 Yaks. By all accounts, Tanya should not have survived this long. And this probably is the Iron Curtain up. Yep, it is. Iron Curtain formation coming in. They're blocking each other. The infantry is blocking the Iron Curtain vehicles, but it doesn't matter because one of them finds a path around regardless. You should attack here. Where's the attacking? Oh, Tanya's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Tanya's back. Tell a friend. Oh, this flame tower pops just... Yeah, that was retargeting. Nice retargeting by Doomsday. Not so nice Yak micro, just running into AA guns. It's not necessary. AA guns are fairly predictable in what they do. And Yaks are pretty mobile. AA guns are just zone defense. Another, that mobile flag going on chase, finding another Hind for its troubles. Good stuff, and here we have a lot of specialized infantry flamers being mixed in. That's a defensive nuke. What the hell? That's on it. I think he's trying to bait him into an engagement. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. This is so smart. He's baiting MechANIC into thinking that the MCV is being targeted instead. Yeah, instead it's all of this here that is being targeted. Beautiful stuff. AA guns coming online. That's a lot of... Oh, wow, the infantry is so low. They were kind of in the blast radius as well. So that's really, really risky. All those infantry are like 2 shots away from death. But the Yaks can at least get some free snipes in. The Hinds are just playing cleanup crew. Oh, that's painful. Haven't done a single point of damage here. And most of the Yaks just running back into the AA gun. That's something that he really needs to work on. No, sorry, they're there. They're just idling. My apologies. More AA guns coming online. That's not the right call. Not being scouted yet, not being revealed. And this is kind of entering the low econ phase. We've got one unharvested gem patch. Doomsday should relocate his MCV, or maybe even his original MCV, and relocate into the middle, try to secure it with a Tesla coil. That's at least the course of action I would take in order to secure all the assets for myself. If you want to win a strategy game, like general talk, if you want to win RTS, ooh, nice Iron Curtain, just getting a couple, getting crushes on a couple infantry, nothing too big. If you want to win at RTS, what you need to do is secure all the resources for yourself while simultaneously depriving your opponent thereof. And therefore, like this gem patch is so much money. If you can secure this for yourself, you basically are taking the game. The Hinds are going for the Iron Curtain now, and it's on cooldown because he used it to snipe a couple completely irrelevant rocket soldiers. No, not even rocket soldiers. I think those were straight up rifles. E1, as it were. This Hind is just accepting its fate. There she goes. Oh, the paradrop. And a lot of infantry going for the Conyard. There is no defense queued up right now. Another tech server being popped somewhere. Here. It's here again, okay. Oh, that's not getting away. The Conyard completely flustered here. Keep your Yaks. What he needs to do is keep his Yaks. That was really bad. What happened there? The Yaks went away. Okay, they snuck the tech center, so it's kind of worth it. Oh no, it's not worth it. 2 of them biting the dust. So what happened there? Infantry, when being supported with line of sight from the Yaks, is really good versus Hinds actually, because the rocket soldiers can engage at range. The only real issue comes when there is no line of sight support, because then the Hinds have like higher weapon range than the infantry have sight range. So the infantry is not able to retaliate. So if he had kept the Yaks there idling, then MechANIC would have engaged into the infantry and all his Hinds would have died to the rocket soldiers. But yeah, instead, we're seeing 4 APCs, maybe a load up. 2 more Yaks. 3 Yaks still in the skies, all severely, one of them severely wounded, the others out of ammo. Oh, that's a load up, indeed. He's gonna pack his things and move on. Pack up and then play catch up. There we go. So his side is completely mined out, and MechANIC hasn't taken his... Ooh, the MCV. Unpack it. Or book it. Nah, it's too late. It's probably gonna pop like what? A refinery? No, a barracks. Okay. Oh wow, the barracks managed to get out a single shock trooper. That's a 2,800 credit shock trooper, because it's 2,000 for the MCV, 400 for the barracks, or maybe 500 even. And oh, though that's a couple stacked APCs. Those are loaded. If you can get in front of the MCV and block it, then that would be an amazing play. That would be a feature I've not seen in quite some time. He's trying to block. Nah, he's just undeploying with the rifleman. There is no MCV here though. Okay, he's probably gonna... Is he gonna get the snipe? Oh, there's a deploy. And the complete loadout. There we go. A successful drop. Crisis not averted. He's trying to get in there. Back into the APCs. Oh, wow. So many Hinds there actually tackling the APCs. Ooh. Spicy. He's traded an entire army. Oh, we're back on MiG-Tech now. So this game has kind of... it had devolved into tier 2. Going from tier 3 into tier 1.5 or tier 2, but now we're back on tier 3. At least Doomsday is. The tier 3 for MechANIC got denied, so unfortunately no chrono tanks. And that's a lot of specialized infantry. That's shockies and rockets. That's something you never want in your base. He's still doing... Doomsday is still doing it. He's just doing such a risky maneuver where he just idles the MiGs above, like in range of a potential construction yard. And he's idling them above... Ooh, yeah. He's idling them above the territory where AA guns could pop up at any given second. There, the 2,800 credit shock trooper, like the $1 million man, is still up and running there. He's juiced up. Alright, one of the Yaks is scouting doom and death. We're back to 3 MiGs. I'm not sure. I don't trust Doomsday around MiGs. So, that's the thing here. And wow, the vetted helis are going in. They're probably gonna take out the missile silo, all things considered. Doomsday needs to get... yeah, here comes the push. And we're seeing a push on 2 sides. Tech center down. Service depot down. Is the nuke gonna survive though? No, it isn't. It isn't. There is not a single SAM site. Right, at least the Flora flag can get some. Get some in return. The shocks though. That's such a brutal army composition here. That's what, 15 shocks and like 10 rocket soldiers. That's something you never want to face. You want artilleries versus this. You want them stat. Is the Iron Curtain up? No Iron Curtain at the time being, so this Conyard is probably doomed to fail. But does it really matter? Does it really matter? I don't think it does. Ooh, the entire army getting slaughtered. Look, there is still so much shock going on. Shock and awe there. We've got the MiGs in the air. And this is MechANIC being down, being like restricted to his gem patch. And... Ooh, risky return path again. Yeah, it's being restricted to his gem patch. And one of the one of the ore mines which is being camped here now. Please, don't do it. Just... Okay, you never should lose your MiGs to single rocket soldiers. That's just not in the cards. Not in the cards. And here is Doomsday though. He has managed to sneak his MCV all the way around. He's giving us the old reach around. And he is double expanding. So this is going to be a two-pronged attack. And sure, MechANIC has got the Hinds to deflect an attack. But only one of those. He definitely doesn't have the juice in him to deflect two attacks at once. Unless MechANIC or Doomsday mistimes it. Oh, AA gun popping. Yeah. It's just what I figured. The density of shocks. It's too high. It's too high. The Hinds are going in right there. I don't think they're gonna survive this engagement. It's just too much. It is too much indeed. No, a couple of them. What? Why is he suiciding them in? Just run them back. He suicided them in to take out a barracks. Was that an A move? Was that like a desperation move? I think it's a desperation move with him, with MechANIC taking his entire army, packing it up and moving it in. But doesn't work with air units too well because they tend to not have MCV down. They tend to not have a lot of ammo, and if they're out of ammo, they just move there and just stand there like a cow, like a surprised cow, waiting for the train to, yeah. A cow on the tracks waiting for the train, basically. So this is Doomsday is giving him the reach around here. One more Hind, and that's probably one of the last Hinds we are gonna see in this game. Disregard. It's the second to last Hind. And here we have the base push, mass barracks, specialized infantry, tier 3 infantry, rocket soldiers, shock troopers. Exactly what we want to see here. Can't stop the shock, guys. And we have artilleries, but MechANIC is not using them right now. It's just letting them idle. More flame towers are gonna pop up inevitably. Ooh, one of the helipads probably going down. The artillery is finally moving in. It can get so much here if he just properly targets what he needs to do. He needs to target the center of the blob. He has line of sight. The radar dome gives you amazing line of sight. Oh, we're gonna watch this from his perspective here and focus on what he could do better. Honestly, he can't do much because radar dome is down, and that's a smart move by Doomsday. He's splitting his forces. He is distracting with flame towers to the right side, so the artilleries have to always shoot the flame towers. And on the left side, he has split up his infantry, which is gonna go in and just kill the base. Straight up. Straight up. And now the artilleries are going into melee range. No bueno. Scout-tilleries surviving their little scouting incident, but hey. Yeah, that's just... MechANIC has to try and find a better flank. But look at this line of flame towers just zoning out the artilleries. Amazing play here from Doomsday. Splitting away the artilleries, zoning them out, and getting away with an infantry-only build for the time being. Hey, did he have any vehicle production? Right, he didn't really. No? Okay, that was an amazing game. Doomsday just making use of all the assets Russia has. Shock troopers, well, we didn't see Tesla tanks, but hey, can't have everything. Can't always get what you want. An amazing Iron Curtain, amazing shock trooper play, amazing flame tower base push, and the MiGs not so amazing. I give you, Doomsday, if you're watching this, and I presume you are, I give your MiGs a 2 out of 10. Like, the rest was an amazing game. The MiGs, man. Yeah, for everyone, if you want to micro your MiGs again, just assign them to a target, and once you hear the firing sound, like them unleashing the missiles, you turn them around and just move them back. They have done the damage, and the missiles are gonna track for like 16 cells. It's a really, really long range. And then you can just retain your MiG planes and not waste them and suicide them to AA guns. Like, the AA gun gods were very pleased in that game. Other than that, fantastic game, and there is a game 2, which I'm probably gonna split up because this has taken me like almost 40 minutes. So game 2 is gonna be a separate game, but it's gonna come out next week. Thanks for watching as always. Subscribe for more OpenRA action, for more Minecraft Let's Plays Kappa. And I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.